Right, nearly there. Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, 20th September. So let's have a look at the news due out this morning, and as you can see, there's a federal election in Canada. I thought that was on over the weekend, but there we are. But before then, we've got a bank holiday. I say before then, we've had a bank holiday in Japan and China. So the Chinese bank holiday, Japanese bank holidays out the way there. Nothing else in terms of news today. So let's crack on and look at the Forex markets themselves, starting looking at the euro dollar, and I get a feeling that this isn't feeding right, but we'll take a look. At the moment it's selling off here. It's continuation of the downside on Friday. I mean, it really did tank, and as I said, it's just pushing off this morning. Let me just get rid of it. Edit this. Sorry, my system's gone a bit doolally over the weekend, and let's just get that on. Okay, it's not going to show me properly in terms of the pivots this morning, but for now, in terms of price action, consolidation around the lows again. We saw this through the Asian session into Sunday night, through our time, and it's been selling off. It does look soft again, this market. It looks like we've got maybe some continuation to the downside as it sits at the pushing down there. We saw it, as I said, on leading into Friday, selling off strongly. We've seen this pushing through, and at the moment, for me, the euro looks like further downside. Now, if it was to start changing course, we do have some targets above, of course, the key moving averages, but the weekly pivot there about 1766, 117.66 would be a normal target in terms of good probability of that being hit. Okay, looking at the pound again selling off quite strongly here on Friday and continuing through the Asian session. So just a real continuation of these moves so far. In fact, I just need to come back to the pound just to look at the sort of target areas. We're looking at sort of 36.18, somewhere in that region, maybe a little bit more, 36.30 in terms of where this could be running off. Real strong dollar at this stage. We've got the Fed meeting this week, of course. It's just run back onto that. And, I mean, this is the key thing that we'll be seeing coming into focus as we run through the week, is this Fed meeting. And well, bank holidays today, tomorrow in China actually. I think a lot of focus will be on that. At the moment, it looks like people are banking on the dollar, and we're seeing continuation to that downside. Dollar yen, well, actually it's a bit of a in-betweener at the moment, but again on Friday we saw the shove up there. It's not too far off of coming back to its weekly pivot. Now, bounce off that weekly pivot may be a point where I say a bounce, we may see a bounce off that weekly pivot, looking like it's got some potential. Lower highs, lower lows though, so we'll just see how it runs through. Just looking at its hourly, from an hourly point of view here, to me, looks like it might be just finding support where it is. Not that I'm going to day trade this personally. It's just too messy. It goes both ways. It goes opposite ways to the way you'd expect for the market. It has done for some time now, but it does look like it's got the potential of a bounce where it's sitting, or more of a bounce. Aussie dollar. This is just continue to sell and sell. We've seen lower highs, lower lows running through the Aussie dollar. Here we go. You see it clearly on this 4-hourly. It's really looking quite weak. With all these markets, really retracements is needed to get me on the short side. Just trading back to some of these key moving averages. One thing you've got to be watching, it says it is a Monday morning. We did have triple witching on Friday. We did have a lot of movement there. We just see what actually, how things just turn, if they turn around. Sometimes you just get that little bit more kicker. As I say, we've got the weekly pivots. Just got to watch it a little bit. But at the moment, as I said, I'm really looking for the retracements for potential sell points. Canadian dollar, again, pushing up there, solid movement up there today so far. It's already started moving up. You see on the 4 hourlies here, pushing up quite strongly. I just come down to the 60 minutes, right? The pivots are not meaning too much here today, needed refreshing, but continue to move. Bit of divergence on the Canadian dollar there, and so there's just a few signs as I'm going through the market, slightly higher lows. If they start, come back to like the euro, for example, you just see this sort of price action it's doing here. It might just end up, we've just putting a low bar in at the moment, but if all of a sudden after 8 o'clock they start reversing, and they all start reversing in a bigger way, perhaps it'll be more prudent to wait for a proper kicker back down again, as opposed to just trying to sell into a key moving average. It might just have a bit more of a turn. We may be putting higher lows in. That's all I can see. As I said, it's a bit more obvious on things like the Canadian dollar here. It's okay, it's got divergence on this one. In fact, it's not got the higher low, but or lower high, that would be. But it's they're just looking. Maybe they'll just turn around a little bit more. New Zealand dollar's a bit cleaner on its daily at the moment. A clean move there. Also lower highs, lower lows. You come back down to the 60. It's got divergence as well at the moment. A bit of a divergence. So just need to watch them post 8 o'clock. Weekly pivots above all of these markets. As I said, with them this morning, if they was to start getting a bit of a pace to the upside, if we see a bit of dollar selling, maybe those weekly pivots could become targets. Okay, euro yen's been selling off pretty strongly here. I mean, it's maybe one of the safer shorts at times, although we have now got to a double bottom point. It is having a bit of reaction at the moment, bit of divergence on its hourly. So again, even this looks like we could see maybe a bit of a correction. How do you know when it's starting to correct? Is when it starts breaking above the point between the divergence levels. So this high here around about 128.82 might see, as I said, we might see a bit more movement to the upside, pushing towards that, maybe that weekly pivot at some stage. Now it won't necessarily be today, but it becomes a target. Okay, moving to the commodities. Commodity wise, well, it's not clear how well these Friday's bars are at the moment, but got a bit of divergence running across the lows here between the two low points. Again, we've got a weekly pivot above, so the weekly pivots can become a draw. This is starting a move above this, what's showing as the daily pivot here at 1756. A move above that may become show more bullishness and see the gold move heading towards that weekly pivot. So there's signs of, as I say, divergences in these markets. They could switch round this morning a little bit, but overall the general push is to the bear side. Changing markets. Let's look at oil. Oil still sliding down here at the moment, and yeah, just continuing its route south. Now I was only looking for the upside on these last week. In the end, but we had a big sell-off, a couple of big moves to the downside there. Certainly, maybe now it's changing course. So I'm just a bit wary of it with all the sort of news that we're seeing regarding energy costs this winter and everything else. And you just, are we going to see some more of a sort of surges to the upside all of a sudden? But for now, technically, it's starting to put clearer lower highs in. Maybe it has got a bit more of a correction, but my feeling is still to be looking for the sort of the breaks of trends and the move to the upside. I think there's upside risk on this at this stage. Okay, that's pretty much there. Let's have a look at. We'll just run through. Let's have a look at these markets here. The markets have opened A01. That's fine. So we'll get some movement. Let's just have a look at what's been happening. We've got bank holidays. Are these actually been running? I don't think so. 17th September. No movement there. And the Nikkei should be closed as well. Yep. So no movements there. Let's go and look at the UK markets then. Oh, FTSE chunking down today. Quite a strong sell-off straight first thing here. Real uncertainty running through here, pushing through. Let's have a look at the DAX. Likewise, really pushing through, lower highs, lower lows. Quite a solid movement first thing this morning. Very really pushing, and the CAC there also lower highs. This to me has been one of the weaker of the market. Certainly been the weaker of the market. We haven't seen the push up there. They're still selling off at this stage. S&Ps this morning, likewise, continuing that downside at this stage. Still, so all these equity markets still selling. Easier route at the moment is to the downside. Now this may run in through the week. It's really picking up these like this 100 moving average below on the S&Ps here. They're looking like reasonable targets, and the next point of target, we're breaking the trend that's running up the. Let's just pop this. See if I can pop it there. Broken that trend that was running up there on Friday, and it's pushed through this morning. So the sort of trend's gone, and well, we could have, as I say, more downside at the rate it's going. It's just certainly given the signs for weakness in this continued weakness. Okay, that's that. Okay, switch over to crypto, the cryptocurrencies, and likewise strong dollar coming through. Just looking over the weekend here. 18th, 19th, what's going on? 20th, yep, okay, it's alright. So over the weekend, pretty much, we sort of, well, mixed day, up Saturday, down Sunday, and so certainly down today as the US dollar is back on stream in terms of being traded, and Ethereum again, the dollar strength right away across most of these markets, pushing through. So at the moment, the cryptos not giving opportunities for buying or anything like that. In fact, they're looking soft at this stage. I was expecting we may still get more consolidation around these ranges. There's sort of ranges sitting between that sort of 43, 300 sort of range up to the more recent high there at 52 and well, just over 52 and a half. The smaller range that sits there. Now, a breakdown, if you're looking, a breakdown of this sort of 43 500-ish point, I think it sort of pushes and looks for more. I'll be looking for more on the short side. Consolidation wise here, well, this may continue for a while. It's we get into these sort of moves like back here. The dollar's very strong at the moment, and it could, I say relatively strong. We could be seeing, as I say, a bit more correction. The way this is looking, it looks like it could run down towards that 100. Okay, that's pretty much it for me on these markets this morning. I wish you a great day's trading. There's, as I say, lots of uncertainty. Someone's asked me about, or had asked me, let me just last week, just where was it? Do I expect more profit taken on Nikkei when it reopens? That is, I don't have a crystal ball on that front. It could well, the way things are running at the moment, it could just see money coming out of stocks worldwide and continue seeing that sort of move the way it's running. As I say, dollar strength is the key thing to bear in mind today. Could see a switch round, of course. And I'm sort of looking at that, and some of these markets are just looking like they could Yeah, just turn around. We're just seeing the 4 hourly bars here on the euro just turning around the corner a little bit, so I'm just watching for that. Right, okay, anyway, have a great day. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.